the next fall, same thing. Get in the hole and was like on some. It wasn't that I didn't care. I don't know what it was. One, I didn't have books. We didn't have enough money to get me books. The money that I was earning was to take care of myself, because books is expensive if you're a college student.
Yep.
So one was the books. Two, I wasn't putting the time in. I was full-time student, working full-time, doing some other stuff I should have been doing, whatever that I can't name. I won't incriminate myself. And I was partying and stuff like that or whatever. And but I ain't gonna say I didn't need to study. I studied when I felt I needed to, but that was another thing. So long story short, that same semester of my sophomore year, same thing. Academics, probation or whatever. Springtime come around, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get my stuff together no matter what. Get it back together. So I was doing that over and over again until I finally got kicked all the way out of school. And kicked out of school, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to community college for a semester. And I wasn't looking at my mental health then. Like now, thinking back now at this moment, I was unstable. I was very much unstable. I had a lot going on. I was a first generation college student. I was working full time. I was helping my mom had lost her job, sending money home, take care of mom. All the other stuff I've been through, dealing with this transition to school. Also going back home sometimes on the weekends, doing shit that I, shouldn't have been doing at home or whatever, and realize that, I can't be going back home anymore because I ain't gonna, go to where I need to go. And so I had this cycle and got kicked out of school and met a professor that was just like, he said, look, you too brilliant to do this and the other. He talked to the head of the department. Rest in peace, Dr. Henry Hudson. I love you or whatnot. I hope that I know you're in a better place. Cool, man. I got to give you your respect, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. I always have loved the type of person he was. God rest his soul or whatnot. He reinstated me. They took responsibility for not doing what they felt they should have did. And from that moment on, I somewhat got my act together. I got my act together enough to get out of school and graduate. Not when I wanted to, but I did graduate or whatnot with a degree.
So, I didn't.
So, yeah.
And my thing was I was just struggling. Number one, I've never tested well. Not ever. Grades, school has always been a struggle for me. And in my time period, I'm an older gentleman. You pretty much were told you were lazy. A lot of people did not work with you.
Which fools with your mental health. When people tell you you're lazy, you're stupid, you're dumb, you need to be like so and so. Because I've had family members told my little brother, you need to be like Eric. I used to always tell my brother, don't be like me, be better than me.
And I went through a lot of that as a child, so I suppressed a lot of that, which will be another whole episode talking about suppression. But I suppressed a lot, and it got to a point where I couldn't suppress it anymore. That's what sent me to therapy. Wish I did it a whole lot sooner. But I was going through also not self-esteem real low.
Yeah.
Real low, which probably did affect, my grades in school. Again, that's mental health. When you're constantly being beaten down, for whatever the reason is, you get it. Unfortunately, I got it from parents, and then when you go to school, you're getting beaten down at home. Again, we talking about energy. People pick up on their energy, and I'm talking about like, elementary school, junior high school. Then those people would beat down on me. It's pretty much like, I said this to my other brother, it's like human beings are two-legged animals. What do you do when you be watching those? If you watch the Animal Planet or channel, whatever, you think about when the wildebeest cross over the river. The alligators be waiting, but they be looking, be like, which one? The smart ones be on the inside. They always get the one. They don't fight through to get the one in the middle. They get the one on the outside because they see, oh, that's the easy one to get, and that's how, I could say I felt like I was being treated, basically. And, it affected a lot of things. I didn't believe I could win for the long. It was just a lot of buildup. And that's another thing, too, you got to be careful of. Whether it's family, friends, even just people like co-workers, even people you're not even close with. You you got to be careful of who's around you. Again, going back to guarding your mind, guarding your energy, guarding your eyes. All these things have to be guarded because it could be someone you barely see, and depending where you are mentally, they could tear, just a little something could tear you down. That's going back to the joker. If someone says they're offended, respect they're offended. We're always hearing you can't tell people how they should feel, even though people try to tell people how they should feel. We're not telling y'all how to feel. We're just speaking from our personal stories and sharing, and we're hoping that we're giving solutions. That's the point of this video. The point of this video is to give solutions.
I agree. Solutions, and to give people, or let people know that, you know, you ain't the only one. We all know it, but it needs to be said sometimes. Just like, you know, people love you, but sometimes it's good to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You know, or whatever. To hear that you're not alone, that you love, or whatnot. You know, talking about self-esteem, I had self-esteem issues for as long as most people wouldn't believe it because I'm a very talkative, outgoing person. But in my head, I wasn't what everybody thought that, you know what I'm saying, that, or wasn't the way people thought I was. And to the point to where it's just funny because a college friend of mine even told me that, I was like, yeah, you know, people in school and college, they thought I was conceited. And this person was like, yeah, a lot of people thought you were conceited in college. And I'm like, what, me? Conceited? And it was because I didn't go and holler at girls like the rest of the dudes did. Well, I didn't holler at the girls like the rest of the dudes did because, one, I'm 5'8". I mean, I am not light skinned. I'm not dark skinned. I'm in the middle. Don't nobody want, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want the guy, the copper tone dude that's in the middle. They either want you dark, like this shirt, or they want you yellow. You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. And they want you to be, you know, super tall, where you play basketball. You didn't even have to be a bad boy, which I think some people thought I was. I mean, I wasn't like a sweet angel. I was a little rougher than I probably was. I mean, I can get down if I need to get down, but that wasn't the image that I was trying to portray. You know, the people I hung with, you know, some of them, whatever, you know, I hung around some thugs and ghetto people, I did, but I also hung around a lot of intellectual people. But yeah, people thought that I was conceited, and it wasn't that I wasn't conceited, it's just that I wasn't as confident in myself as I seemed, I guess. You know, everybody just think you social or whatever. Just because you social don't mean that you're that confident in yourself or whatever. And I had to get to the point to where I was just like, you know, whatever, like, you know, you're going to get no's and you're going to get yeses, like job interviews or applying application for a job. You're going to get some no's, but eventually you're going to get a yes. And it's going to be a yes that you want. I'm never telling anybody to settle for anybody in a relationship. Don't settle for a bad set of friends just because they want to be a friend, so to speak. Don't settle. We see that a lot. You know, people hang around people. No matter how they treat them, they hang around just because they're like, well, this person is, I guess they feel is good for their image or whatever. We see that. It's a classic high school thing where, was that not? No. It's a classic high school thing where the new kid moves into town and then wants to be accepted. So the popular kids act like they're going to accept them, and then they like prank them at the party or whatever type of thing. I see that all the time.
Or sometimes they gravitate. I've had some experiences where I've lost friends to the so-called cooler person.
Yeah.
That's an old school term. I don't know what term y'all use now. They used to use fly at one time.
I was about to say fly.
The fly person, or just because they think the other person's attractive, but which is for another show too. Again, I know we naming all these shows, but certain people would still call on me when they needed something. Again, this is a whole nother show. Just giving a quick story. And it's like, you know, go to them. You know, it's like you think Mr. or Miss Fly, all that, or cool or whatever, the good looking, pretty, you know, pretty privilege, whatever you want to call it, you know, go to them. You know, you have to be not afraid to say go to them. You have to not be afraid to let go, because nowadays, you know, a lot of people are, you know, they're not tolerating stuff from their parents anymore. There's a time Oh no, that's your mother, that's your daddy. Respect your elders, or not even just your parents. If your uncles was older, your grandparents, your aunties, whoever, if they was older, teachers didn't matter. If they were disrespectful to you, oh no, you still supposed, even as a grown adult, if they disrespectful to you, oh no, you put your well-being down to lift somebody else up. And that's why we have all this going on nowadays where people like F parents. And that's from built up, again, suppression stuff. Because nobody wanted to what? Communicate.
People are fed up, man. People are fed up. I got a song called Fed Up too, I never released, but people are fed up. You know, it's communication. Like, he can tell you that I try to prevent happening to my kids what happened to me. So my parents didn't communicate with me or whatever. They didn't even raise me really. So, you know, my grandparents did. But I try to communicate with my kids, even the situation I had going on earlier or whatnot. And Michael was like, man, I like hearing you say, you know, how I handle the situation. Similar to what you be saying. And it's all about communicating. All about communicating. And not just with other people, but you got to talk to yourself. Ask yourself what's wrong with you. And then attempt to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Drinking, smoking, sex or whatever, it's not going to fix that shit. It's not going to fix it. You know what I'm saying? That self-medicating shit, it does not work. It's temporary. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a roller coaster ride. You get that high for that 3 minutes or however long it is, and that's it. Now you back to ground zero, walking again. The ride is over. You know what I'm saying? So be honest with yourself. We could go on and on all day long about this. I'm sure there will be another series, another part to this. But for now, we're going to go ahead and tell y'all thank you for watching. Be sure to check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Also, you can email us for questions, comments, or concerns at 2geeksandanerdpro@gmail.com. And be on the lookout for all the merchandise. About to drop a video about that soon. If you want to order some shirts, again, hit us at 2geeksandanerdpro@gmail.com. And we'll be sure to get you your order fulfilled. Until next time, we're the geeks, you're the nerds, but we the nerdiest. Peace.